Right, Lydia, this weekend we're catching up with you at Brands Hatch GP circuit. How difficult is it compared to the Indy circuit?
Yeah, it is difficult. I actually prefer the GP loop, to be honest. But yeah, you need a lot of confidence out of the GP loop. It's so narrow and it's high confidence corners because it's just so quick. So yeah, you need to make sure that you have trust in the car, but I really enjoy it. It doesn't get used much.
Are you almost flat out Hawthorns in it or not?
No, we have a brake.
Yeah. And is it just a confidence brake or is it a real brake?
No, you have to have a brake, yeah. Otherwise we wouldn't make it around.
That shows you how slow the cars were that I used to drive then. So you're happy with the circuit? The setup's quite, because we understand that you may have found something to help you with the setup.
I mean, we've been getting there all year, to be fair, but I always enjoy the GP loop anyway, and I went well there last year, so yeah, I always just enjoy coming here. It's probably one of my favourite circuits on the calendar, to be fair. So.
Favourite corner?
Probably Hawthorns.
Really?
Yeah. It's quite like Silverstone National Turn 1, so there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, because I know the old circuit is at Dingledale. I used to know it as. That's Sheen corner now, I think, isn't it?
That's before my time.
That was blind when, I think they've changed it since.
Oh, I don't know.
It was blind. You just sort of pointed and hopefully you got through it.
Yeah, well, we did a track walk on Thursday and it's like unbelievable how much you can't see.
Yeah.
It's just, you're turning in and just trusting that there's nothing like across the track or something. Yeah. It's a brilliant circuit, really.
So how did was it 2 races yesterday you did?
Yes, busy day, yeah.
How did you get on first race?
Well, not so bad considering. We came in and there was just fluid absolutely everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's that coming from? And we had a shock absorber go front left. So obviously, with most of the corners on the circuit being right-handers, that's not
so you get
ideal.
Fluid all over the front.
And the rear. Made it all the way back to the rear as well. But I thought I had a puncture on lap 1, and that's obviously what it was. But, so I think all things considered, not too bad. But qualifying was brilliant. I mean, we were sitting 13th until about 2 minutes to go on the clock, which is the best that we've managed all year.
And then you get a crafty couple just coming in doing the centre-esque.
Exactly, how dare they? But I mean, it's just, it's brilliant. It's a big step forward.
So your confidence level is increased that much more this weekend than it was at the Snetterton? Or?
I think so. I think I'm feeling more confident in the car, and we've found that straight line speed now, which we were struggling with, in all honesty. So this is the first time that we're actually keeping up in a straight line. That's so it can only be good things, can't it?
I mean, being the Grand Prix circuit, you've got a better chance of making up some decent places, obviously, haven't you? So where are you hoping? Are you hoping 2 or 3 places?
I don't know. I mean, it's the last round of the year, which usually means absolute carnage.
Everyone goes
whether it'll be safety car the whole way through, I don't know. But I'm sure a few at the front will probably chuck themselves off, so that'll probably be an automatic couple anyway.
I mean, with the family, I used to run myself, and I always held back a little bit because I knew I'd got to pay for it, I'd got to repair it and everything else. Do you find yourself doing that a little bit with it or not? Or?
I mean, I guess it's always in the back of your mind, isn't it? When I had my little...
But it doesn't help, does it?
No, you can't race like it. I mean, I try and put it out of my mind, but as soon as you have a little accident, I mean, my crash at Snetterton, first thing you think is, how much is this going to cost? Yeah. But I mean, we're quite lucky that we can repair ourselves. So we're not paying for labour and things like that. So in that
does make a lot of difference.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of time to maintain these things, and I'm lucky that I've got a dad that can do that at home. A lot of it's carbon fibre as well. The parts are expensive, the bonnet's expensive, isn't it? Everything's nothing's cheap. No, it's not. It's not cheap. No. So your plans for next year? You obviously definitely want to do the JCWs again. I do, yeah. I mean, I've been saying this to everyone. We've learned so much. I think if we didn't do it next year,
not to, wouldn't
it would be quite a waste. I think with everything that we've learned this year, and we've not had the results that we wanted. So I really do want to push for those good results. But it's just, unfortunately, probably like most of the drivers up and down this grid, it's going to be a financial problem because everything's just getting so expensive, isn't it? So. Yeah, we've got a lot of hard work over the winter to try and convince some people to come on board.
With the Cooper class, even get money for that, and the step up in the class, there's more expensive parts on it now. You know, where you could manufacture your own exhaust, you're now running a Scorpion exhaust. You know, you've got a lot of Forge Motorsport parts on it now, which you didn't have before. So it is gradually creeping up. So I do understand how difficult it is.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's a fantastic championship, and all the parts are the same across the cars, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd almost sell a soul to do it, I think.
Well, I've already lost a kidney, so. But I mean, I hope to be here.
Yeah. We hope you are as well. So, if, any sponsors out there, Lydia Walmsley, she's going places. Yeah. You know, we've got all these girl races in the championships, but this lady's got it. You know, you ought to see her in the Cooper class at Alton Park. That's what made my mind up about her. You were brilliant, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So sponsor her, please.
Please.
Hello, Max. We're with Max Coates, 71 Mini JCWs. How's it going, Max?
Yeah, all right. This weekend's been okay. Qualified 10th and finished 10th and 7th in the two races yesterday. So it's all right. It's not what we've come here to achieve. Hopefully we'll go a little bit better again today and hopefully pick up a podium.
You're normally pretty good here, though, aren't you?
No, I love it. Definitely the best track on the calendar.
So, are you pleased with the season as it's gone? Because this is sort of a catch. Well, no, obviously as a race driver, you're not, but.
No, it's been pretty mixed. In fairness, when it's gone well, and when it's gone bad, it's gone horrendous. First round we got taken out on the first lap of the first race, so that that's pretty
makes
brutal, that first race weekend pretty difficult.
The first two or three are the ones where you really need to clock them in and get the percentages up in it.
Second event here was great. You know, a podium and a race win, and then Alton Park was kind of fairly mediocre. And it's been a bit of a disaster for the last three, to be fair.
So do you drop scores in the JCW?
Yeah, two races. But I could drop about a season's worth of races, to be fair.
Because you had to go in the Cooper as well, didn't you?
I did. Yes. That went brilliantly. It was a new car for the round, and ultimately it was just not as fast as others in a straight line, so I was kind of fighting with one arm behind my back and the other one broken.
I could see I was crying for you at some points because I could see I know what you'd be doing there and you couldn't quite do it there.
It was sort of like when the first time I went out and I thought maybe I'm just doing something wrong, and then maybe I still need to just get my head around what this car is about. Qualifying was awful, and then in the race no one just pulled away from me in a straight line, and I was like that'll be the problem then. I've worked it out. It's too late by that point, isn't it?
It's gone, isn't it? It's history then. You just got to make the best of a bad thing.
Exactly, and that was exactly it, really.
It's nothing worse, because I used to do a championship where there was 3 or 4 classes where you'd be up against faster cars, but you'd be driving better, so you catch them up into the corners, and then as soon as they hit the straight, they'd be gone. So you'd never get an outright win.
No, it's even harder when they're in your class.
It's like, God, it's so
you can't beat them. There's 20 of them.
Yes. So, are you on course for V2CC next year? Still going to happen?
In a fashion, yes. Plans in terms of the team making the step are in place.
Good.
We need a bit more budget. As you are finding out, getting the sponsorship is
especially
not
now,
so easy. So we're in a I guess a little bit of a difficult time for most businesses, but that's not all businesses.
No.
And there is, as much as there is difficult times out there, there's some people doing very well.
You've got a degree in it though, haven't you, in marketing and that, so that must help.
Yeah,
must give you a better idea.
It gives you a bit of credence that when you go to somebody, there's
so did you purposely do that?
They know what's going on.
Did you purposely do that because you knew you wanted to be a racing driver and you wanted to have that?
Long story short, I went to a sponsor. So when I finished my A levels, I took a year out, not your typical gap year and travelling around Australia. I wanted to become a racing driver, so I had a year out to focus on that fully. And the biggest difficulty is getting a sponsorship to go and do it. And I more or less had a deal for 50 grand with a sponsor. I walked into a meeting to sort of sign it off and said, sorry, we can't do 50, we might be able to do 5.
Yeah.
And it was, we'd come up with a plan to kind of change their business in quite a dramatic way and really help them to deliver on what we wanted to do. And I just kind of thought, as being really 17, 18, most people you employ at that age are on minimum wage, and I'm walking in asking for 100 grand to not work for you. So it's quite a difficult prospect, and I thought I need something that backs up that when I walk in and ask for 100 grand, that people aren't, well, this guy's high.
It's value for money, you see.
Exactly. So you've got to have a bit of credibility in what you're talking about, and a bit like when you're doing driver coaching, if you need to show that you can do something for people to believe that you can teach them. So it's the same in the sponsorship game, and if you've proven and shown that you can deliver or have a background in what it's about, then it should set you in a better path.
So the car, have you decided on the car yet?
Yes.
You have? Are we going to hear what that is?
No.
Is it a current car, should I say? Will you go as far as that?
Yes.
Good, okay.
Yeah,
so
but that's all we can say. And that is genuinely because we are...
Have you driven it yet?
No. That is genuinely because we're sworn to secrecy on it, and clearly, for everything to happen, I need to keep our word on that.
But there is one good positive. You've had a crap year this year, so all the bad luck's gone.
It's got to be gone.
It's gone, hasn't it?
There can't be much more of it. So
next year, first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Top 3.
It'd be nice to rock up and put it on pole straight away, wouldn't it? But we'll see. I'll try. But I'm very realistic that a first year in touring car is about learning and improving throughout. So I'm under no illusion that it'd be pretty difficult.
Yeah. I mean, luckily with these are so hard to drive that step, driving wise, isn't going to be so difficult for you. I don't think it's going to be a step at all, is it? Really?
I feel like I'm ready for a touring car.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you've got to get in one and put yourself there. But I don't worry about it from a driving point of view. I know I'm going to have to work hard, but it's I look at other people's success and results over the years and think of what they've done in similar classes to what I've been in, and I don't think I can go and race it with them.
I think you've got to do it now.
For example, Josh Cookson, who's been in the title fight for the last number of years. He finished in the same position in Clio Cup as I did. Ash Sutton won it. I finished second. He's third in my first year on to be honest, a vastly different budget to what Ash was. So it's hard to compare when it's in different years, but we've done similar, and feel like I could still do that in a touring car. But we just need the chance to prove it. And I know it's not going to come in year 1.
No.
It might not come in year 2, but we'll give it a fair old go.
Yeah, you've got to give it a crack. You've definitely got the talent to do it.
Yeah. I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah, or we would as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Nice fella.
Cheers.
Well, anyway, thanks, Max.
No problem.
Have a fantastic 1 o'clock race.
Cheers.
Just after, I think it is.
Thank you.
And what we do is we put your result up and your championship results up on the end of the interview.
I had the championship one.
So,
No, thanks very much, and best of luck to you next year. Fingers crossed.
Well, hopefully you'll be doing more data logging.
We'll be watching your videos and seeing what goes on.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Cheers.
Right, Bradley Gravett.
Yeah.
Last round, JCW.
Yeah.
A lot going on, hasn't there?
Yes.
New sponsors.
I know it kind of looks the same awning, but it's not. It's white.
So, what's happened?
We've changed teams since we last spoke, which was here, actually, Brands Hatch, second round, I think, from memory.
It was, yes.
Over the other side.
Yes. The dark side.
Well, you said it. So we switched to Accelerate. We weren't given much option in that matter, really. It was the only decision to make. It's the best team to be with. Given me the best options to move forward with my career and just generally, really, with the car and with everything. They are just the best team in the paddock, for sure. And not just in minis, all the way through to touring cars as well. It is, I would say, probably one of the best teams in the touring car paddock, for sure.
So is there a plan to progress with them in touring cars, or?
Well, there's always options there. I mean, there's nothing to discuss, but I mean, you know, it's obvious that, you know, Accelerate are running a British touring car team, and yeah, it would be a nice lead through. But hey, we're keeping our options open, and we're not sure at the moment what our plans are. Well, the plan is touring cars for sure. Where that is at the moment we don't know.
Now, for me, I've been meaning to approach this company for years, thinking, oh, they would be fantastic to have as a sponsor. My God, that'd be wonderful. As a kid, I'd spent thousands on their stuff.
Yeah, Scale Electrics, yeah. So we acquired Scale Electrics last round.
Yeah.
So they've just released. Well, they've had a Rob Gravett daddy.
Yeah.
They've had the 1990 white RS 500 now for sale for a couple of years, I think, and they've just released a super saloon set with Rob Gravett versus Steve Soper in the Texaco Eggenberger RS 500.
Oh, I remember that as well. Yeah.
As a set that you can buy. Yeah. So commercially for those guys, Scale Electric's always kind of been an option for them. What with the dad car and things like that, which I believe is a good seller for them.
Yeah.
It kind of just made commercial sense now to get involved with the brand and just give it a little push. The set's been selling really well. So yeah, we can help with that in some way.
In the Scale Electrics?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a Cooper class car.
Well, they've got a model.
And a JCW class car would look good.
Well, they've got a model for the Mini.
Yeah.
I think they've got to make a few tweaks for the new upgrades, but there is a model there.
Yeah, so it's quite a process they go through for the models, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's made, but I assume it would be a metal moulding, and they shape the body around that. So I can't see why not.
No, that'd be good. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
It would be very cool.
Liqui Moly ball.
Yeah, it would look very, very sharp. Best looking car in the grid.
Obviously.
So I've been told.
So this weekend, you feel a lot better in the car. Confidence level's good.
I mean, last time we spoke, I would have been on cloud 9 from Donington. We had a pretty incredible race at Donington. I was up to P2 at one point in race 3, the televised race. And ever since Donington, I haven't had a car until Brands Hatch GP that's been quick enough, that's been racy enough to move forward. This is the first time I've had a chassis, an engine, and the support around me that actually will allow me to move forward. Since Donington, it's been a bit damaged imitation. It's been how many cars can I not let by? Now it's like, right, I can hold them. Where can I overtake them? And it's the first time since then that I've been able to actually have that and be in that position.
So this weekend, final round.
Yeah.
First 2 races gone. Third race left. Is it?
We had a bit of
tape up all the clocks, tape up all the warning lights, and just
go for it.
Go for it.
I mean, we're giving it everything. We're giving it the best tyres, the best everything, the best setup, the most aggressive that we've got, and that's what we're doing.
So as Justina said, it doesn't matter if it comes back with every panel bent, or as long as you finish.
Well, the more bent it is, the more I've got to buy. So no, it's not about that. I mean, it's. I mean, absolutely, I want to finish, and I don't want to bend the car. This is my car for next year, so I don't want to have to spend any more money on it. Really, it's going to need a new rewrap. It's obviously had a few stone chips on it, which you get over a race weekend. So I want to keep the car in one piece, but absolutely, I'm going to make those doors and I'm going to open them up. We're going to set the car up for aggression, and we're just going to absolutely go for it. Nothing to lose. I mean, P15 I'm starting, which doesn't represent really the pace that we've got. We had a bit of an unfortunate race 2. My teammate was turned around by another car, and he just ended up in front of me. I'm going onto the back straight, and I had to go over the gravel to avoid him. It's unfortunate for him. He DNF'd. I could have DNF'd. I lost about 4 or 5 places. I'll take that over a DNF anytime. Starting 5th, 14th I think now. It's
a pretty decent starting position.
It's not, it's the GP circuit. It's not the Indy circuit. So you've got
you've got good places to overtake. I mean, we started 13th in Donington, and we nearly came second. So it's doable. 100%.
I asked Lydia earlier about Hawthorns. How do you feel about Hawthorns?
Which one's Hawthorns? Is that the one down the back straight to the left?
I think it's virtually. It's a bit.
I have no idea.
Sweeping one.
I was second time I've been.
I was always flagged out on it, but of course in these you can't.
No, it's a brake change down. You just throw the speed into it, and it's quite cambered actually.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of camber on it, so you just sort of throw it in.
A lot more into it than what you think.
When you walk the circuit, you can see it, and it really is very much cambered, so you can drive into the car, drive into the circuit. Apologies.
Sheen still blind?
Pardon?
Sheen curve still blind?
Which one's Sheen?
That used to be Dick.
Oh yeah. It is blind, but my turning point, I'm looking at the outside of the corner, and that's my turning point. Whereas I was always be looking at the apex. So yes, it's blind, but if you turn in there, you're all right, probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's a weird corner actually because it kind of looks like it's 90 degrees, but I don't think it is. I think you can kind of square it, and you can kind of get it. You can open it up, so you can really lean on the car there. I mean, I think from the data, I'm very fast through there. I've got a lot of confidence through there.
So favourite corner?
Probably that one. Yeah. I mean, I was a bit sceptical about a GP Loop until this weekend. Last year, the old team gave me an absolutely horrendously bad car to drive. It was like a pogo stick everywhere. It was just horrible to drive, and it was just Larry. Accelerator give me a brilliant car, and it's pliable. It does what I want. It's supportive. It's there when I need it to be there, and it does everything I need it to do.
We're wishing you all the best for today.
I appreciate it.
And I hope it works out for you and next year. And I'm glad you're happy.
It will work out. We're kind of like sort of prepping ourselves for next year, really.
Yeah.
I've learnt the team now. I understand how a professional team works. I mean, I've learnt that over the past sort of 2 years of my professional motorsport career. I get it. I understand how the data works. I understand the setups. Now it's just tweaking it to how Accelerate do it. I've learned a lot in the last 2 rounds, Silverstone and Brands Hatch GP, obviously, and I've got a lot to think about in the winter, but I know what I need to do, and I can do that. I've shown that I can do that from the data, and I just need to focus.
So is it mainly in the car or in yourself that you found it?
We're working in that last 5% now.
Right.
So the car's there, I'm there, and now we are literally looking for the smallest of margins now. Just that last little bit in the braking zone, that what you do at that point. And it's just that I'm dead relaxed in the car now. It's just focus on what you need to do.
Yeah. So, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm happy you're happy. Dad's happy.
I'm happy. He's happy. Yeah. He's still in bed at the moment. 1:30's the race. So I'll get there late.
No. Right. Thank you very much for your time again.
As always.
Love having the little chats with you. We've had a catch up with nearly everybody. And
and thank you for your support. Thank you for your support as well. I really appreciate it.
So it's not a problem when people are nice.
Good stuff. And I hope to see you out in a car as well.
Definitely. Coopers. Yeah. Look who we've bumped into. Rich from the Hard Compound.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, yes.
Very, very nice to bump into you finally.
And you, yes. I mean, we sort of had a sort of a thing going on Instagram where we sort of chat to each other now and again and mention stuff, and it's nice finally to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to speak in person rather than through a keyboard or a touchscreen or whatever it might be.
Sometimes the messages come across in the wrong way, don't they?
Usually my ones. I do apologise in advance if I come across as being like snotty at all. It's never intended.
So I won't ask you what brings you down here. It's obviously the touring cars.
Absolutely.
I mean, you obviously. I know your knowledge and everything. It's quite astounding what you know. I thought I was a bit geeky about racing cars and stuff, but no, I know nothing.
I think I've just got one of those brains where I retain all the useless stuff, but anything involving anything important, it's in one ear and out the other.
You can't change your plug for toffee.
No.
You know who won who was third in the British Touring Car round at Hilton Park.
I can't even tune into my wife for for 30 seconons. But
a lot of us do that.
Talk about cars and I'm well away. Yeah. Sorry to the wife if she sees this.
No offence intended. The interviews you do, you've had some cracking interviews.
Yeah, been very fortunate.
And the Andretti, I mean, that's just a hero, and it was just.
That one. If you do go on onto the Facebook page or Twitter or YouTube and watch it, you can actually see for the first 20 minutes I'm just standing there just. I'm not really sort of fully listening because I'm thinking, how on earth have I managed to get Mario, quite possibly the greatest all-round racer there's ever been. Absolutely amazing. It's just very odd. he liked to post on Twitter, and I thought, wow, that's quite cool, Mario Andretti, but it can't be the real one. Checked it out, and it was, and I thought, maybe I could get him on. No, don't be so stupid. And then I sent him an email, and his PR came back and said, yeah, when do you want to do it? And my jaw hit the floor, my head hit the ceiling, and it happened. But yeah,
we got a Mark Blunder interview, and I was atrocious. The interview I thought wasn't very good because I was just gushing all the time. I was like,
you try not to, don't you?
Oh my God! And I was going, yes, I did that. I do that as well. I did that as well, and it was so embarrassing. And I'm thinking, finally, I could do it again now, knowing what I know now.
It's one of the toughest things.
It's a wonderful thing.
Talking to your heroes without being cringeworthy, it's so difficult. When you're trying to be. Well, you said that. I mean, I was lucky enough to meet Nigel.
Yeah.
An evening with Nigel Mansell a few weeks back, and him and Ayrton Senna were my heroes when I was a kid from the F1 world. Yeah. Obviously, sadly, no chance of meeting Ayrton. We all know what happened all those years ago. To meet Nigel Mansell, it was very hard to be outwardly cool and talk to him when the inner 7-year-old is screaming. It's like, oh my God! And I'm going, oh, Nigel, yeah, very nice to meet you. How's things?
And the children fine?
Yes, and when and you're worried at him looking at you, and you're so hysterically happy that you're talking to him that your eyes are facing in two different directions and things. And but it's very difficult. He must get
that all the time, though. Surely.
Yes, and he does put people at ease. He just makes jokes and.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, because we were driving. We were at Silverstone testing one weekend, and he was there with the touring cars at the time, and we got him to do this little thing where, oh yeah, thanks for the tip and everything as he walked by, and he did it. It wasn't a problem.
A lovely guy.
And it's like, what a man, just give you that bit of time and effort.
On that event, obviously things ran late, but it was like a sit-down meal, and then him on stage with his manager or one of his managers doing the chat and everything. And they overran the initial bit. The meal overran, and he said, "Oh, well, we're going to do the first part of the sit-down interview. I'm going to come around the table and I'm going to do the interview while I'm signing things, just so we don't disappoint anyone. We know people have spent money to be here and things like that." And I thought that was just another measure of him. Just a lovely guy. They amended their schedule just to help the people that had turned up. So they could have a signature, have a photo. And really lovely guy. Lovely guy. I think he knows he's got a fan base. He's not arrogant about it, and he's just happy to help people.
Yeah. Awesome man. Fantastic. Awesome man.
Lovely man.
Yeah.
I still need to get him on. But
so, out of all the interviews you've done so far, who's your favourite? Would you say Andretti or
no
not?
Disrespect to anyone who's come on because they've all been fantastic. But it's just in terms of who they are. I mean, Mario Andretti. And probably Jackie X are the two. I think it'd be daft if I said anything else.
Yeah.
In terms of enjoyment, David Brabham was fantastic. Guys like Stefan Johansson who have done F1 and IndyCar. Alex Caffey was a good one. Obviously, all the people from the BTCC paddock. But yeah, if I had to pick, well, I couldn't pick one. It would be level pegging Mario and Jackie. Yes, they're brilliant.
Yeah,
amazing guys.
True legends. Yeah,
amazing guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rich. It's been fantastic talking to you and finally see you in person instead of
you too. And
little clips of you. And
I've actually I do exist below here, below the chest. But no, thank you very much for having me on for a chat. Always nice to talk motorsport.
Yeah, and enjoy your day.
You too.
Hope they win who you want to win.
Let's hope it goes down to the last race. That's all we want.
yes, and a fantastic manoeuvre in the last corner.
Yeah. Something thumping through clearways would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thanks, Rich.
No problem. Cheers.
Right, we're here with Ian Travers, Thinking It Better.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, if you'd like to explain exactly who and what you are, Ian, that'd be great to start off with.
Or even the company.
And the company, yes. And then we can go into more detail of why you're at the touring cars, why you're,
So, I'm an engineer by background, but for the last 10 years, we've had a business which is all about helping people get out of their own way. We're not psychotherapists or anything like that, but we are a bunch of experienced people from industry who have got a passion and interest in how the human brain works. So fundamentally what we do is we work with businesses, with teams, with individuals to help them grow and be the best version of themselves, whatever they want to be. And we do that with our knowledge of industry, with our knowledge of whatever it is they're doing, but with a dash of how we think about it and some of the psychology behind it.
Yeah. So is it mainly sports people you work with, or?
No, I mean, if anything, majority of our work is in small to medium-sized businesses. We do some work for some blue chips. We've worked for Bombardier in the past. We've worked for and continue to work for Rolls-Royce in aerospace. But the motorsport side is a growth area for us.
Oh, right. Was that sort of a byproduct? Initially, was it for the companies, and then the motorsport thing came along, or?
Yeah, it was. I mean, my first motorsport client was a guy called Rich Marsh, who was on the recent podcast episode. And I mean, Rich is in industry. He kind of does a similar work, but in lean, where we don't operate. But just started working with him in motorsport, and the realization that we've all got the same brain in our heads. It doesn't really matter what we're doing. Yeah. The way we approach
same things that affect it.
Absolutely. And this thing about be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you say to yourself, because that's what happens, right? And that's the thing. And it's just for me, it's a real passion and a fascination, and I just love helping people change the way they talk to themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I understand totally how it can affect you from a motorsport point of view, but it's the tiniest little things can be catastrophic. It's just training that thought process to keep the positivity and everything else there.
Well, the thing, I mean, and I think it's particularly relevant in motorsport. You haven't got time to do the thinking. You're driving subconsciously. When you go into a bend, if you're ever to think about it, too late. And the same comes if you're going into a bend or into a circuit, and you might have something you're saying in your head like, "Oh, I'm never too good at that bend." Well, guess what's going to happen at that bend? Or I'm not great at starts. Well, guess what?
First thing I ever told us was, if you have an issue at a corner, don't think on that corner. Get it out of your head as quickly as you can, because you can guarantee by the next corner or the one after that, you're going to have the same problem.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's very true.
So whether it's in industry or whether it's in motorsport, the process is the same. What are we trying to achieve? How can we get our subconscious mind working for us?
Yeah.
So that things start to change without us thinking about it eventually.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. The little things you sort of don't realise you're doing, and how things that have happened to you in the past can keep you in a certain place, not necessarily a good place. And how changing that just by a simple exercise and getting that exercise to work and that train of thought to change, and then getting used to that train of thought, like training a dog, I suppose.
Yep.
I mean, I've got an angry dog. He'll always be angry, but it's sort of proving to him that certain things aren't going to happen, and then eventually he gets used to it, and he turns out to be a lovely dog.
Yeah.
When I first got him, he was awful. I mean, he's not brilliant now, but it's no different, I don't think. You've just got to, it's just training that system and method.
And you hear this all the time. I mean, in daily conversation with people, you spot how many times you'll hear people say, "Oh, mate, I'm terrible at that." Hello. Or "Oh, I'm awful at remembering names." Well,
I do that all the time with the names.
But if you actually do it, I mean, if you just change what you say to yourself and say, "It'll come to me," leave it at that.
Yeah.
So you just leave it at that, and you'll find suddenly, flipping heck, that name came to me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think in this space that it's all about happy clappy optimism, and it's not.
No.
The fact is that the difference in business, the difference in whatever you're trying to do, the difference in motorsport, it's how you deal with the stuff that goes wrong. Yeah. And if you can find a way of dealing with the stuff that goes wrong, so you quickly get out of the doom and gloom into the how do we stop it happening again, that's a change of mindset.
Yeah,
so stuff happens. In life, stuff happens. Well, Okay, great, and we'll have bad days, that's great, but let's have less of those and let's get back. And how do we then spend our emotional energy and stop it happening again? That, I think, is the...
Yeah, it's the key, yeah.
That's thinking it better.
Yeah, it is. So you're at Brands Hatch today with us with the touring cars.
Yes.
Why is that exactly?
Well, it's pretty much a year ago that I had gone to Donington to watch touring cars with Oliver, my youngest son. And it just happened to be a session that Brad was at, actually racing in JCWs. And long story short, we had a bit of an exchange on Instagram and resulted in going down to meet with Brad and Rob. And it was, I think initially we'd booked an hour. I think we were there about 5, and the rest is history. And we're now with them for the long haul here.
Duration.
And so we've been working with Brad. Spent time with Rob and with Jeremy from Liqui Moly as well. What we're now seeing, and anecdotally, people will say who are around Brad now, it's dealing with stuff that's gone on this year in a much better way, and I think we're in a really good place now.
Yeah, he seems to be in a good place. When we spoke to him earlier, his head seems to be right. He seems happy. Yeah, which makes everybody knows if you're happy, you're going to perform better, aren't you?
Absolutely. And I think this weekend has been probably the first weekend there where I've seen him come away from a race circuit having enjoyed the day. Frustrating maybe, but confidence and belief in the car under him, confidence and belief in himself, and smiling.
Yeah, it's difficult to smile sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know when it's genuine or not.
And as I say, it's perfectly fine to have a bad race, bad day, and that's fine. And and to get angry and to get annoyed, I'd be surprised if people haven't. But it's how do we then? Okay, done that.
It's using that to benefit. For your benefit, isn't it?
So if you've got that bit of anger, let's use that bit of anger.
Yeah, because you always say controlled aggression. Motor racing is all about controlled aggression.
So that's why we're here. Yeah,
cool.
Working with them and supporting the team and the car, and it's great to see him settled in with this new team as well.
Yeah, it seems to be working for him. Yeah, it seems to work for him very well. Well, Ian, it's been lovely seeing you again.
Yeah,
we keep bumping into each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
And have a lovely afternoon.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you again. Looking forward to seeing your car.
Yes. Well, we've got some bits come this week, so hopefully we can push on with it and get it done and get cracking with it.
Great stuff.
So yes, just deciding where we're going to go, and sponsorship. We need sponsorship.
Great stuff, Adam. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Smith will run down towards Paddock Hill, who's still pushing. He's on the grass there briefly as he squeezes his way through. The 102
So thanks for watching this week's Minis and Motorbikes.
Thank you, everybody. We got in front of some really good people this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, it's good to catch up with some people.
And another surprise guest as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So we're back in the workshop next week.
Back in the workshop next week.
All right. Okay.
Stuff. Shocks are coming.
Oh yeah. The shocks are in. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Right. So. Click over here, you got the previous episode.
Just up there.
Previous episode, and then click down here, and it's a link to all the videos. So brilliant. Thanks very much. See you soon. Cheers.
Bye.